about something that I saw I saw this yesterday, I saw this today. I see this often across Facebook pages, Instagram posts, occasionally on YouTube itself. And this is something that is pretty commonplace in our niche. And I think it can be very, very misleading. Sometimes on purpose, sometimes not so. For some people, it is misleading, but it's not intended to be misleading. And I want to talk about numbers today. All numbers are not made equally across platforms, across YouTube, across social media resellers. And when they show you that 90-day number, for instance, it doesn't tell the whole story. And sometimes those creators out there, they do tell the whole story. They just don't do it in one place. And people today, because today for us was a great day. Let's go take a look. So a lot of YouTubers out there, a lot of people who aren't YouTubers, they just post it on Facebook. You know, in history, we used to say text without context is usually air, and it usually is air. And I want to talk about 3 factors that really can explain numbers a little bit better. And a lot of you folks out there know this, realize this, but this right here, I'll shut up for a minute and talk about this. I bought this for $5 at a sale. And unfortunately, I lost the footage for this sale in that giant absolute disaster of losing footage, because this one was an awesome sale. We bought all kinds of stuff, but this Rat Think die cast, there was none out there like it. There was some close, and so I put a high number on it as for $100 plus shipping. Had a few offers, and I just turned them down, and I waited, and somebody bought it. $100 plus shipping. All right, Joe. Had to grab this one out.
Okay, folks, Patdees, welcome to the channel. I am watching Commonwealth Picker
is cost of goods.
On
when
his
they show the 90-day total,
Commonwealth
what you don't
Flipper
see
channel,
is cost of goods.
and I wanted to make a video basically to, I thought it was a great topic to kind of talk about.
Just a ridiculous
you know,
number.
That's one thing that
like
I think Kevin,
$100,000 90-day total, and they had like 40 solds. Like, something is just definitely not right here. Not that that's not impossible. It is possible.
I'm going to use some of his footage.
$100,000 day total, or excuse me, 90.
And I thought about reaching out to him. Hold on, let me pause this a minute. I thought about reaching out to him, but I didn't want him to kind of skew the video that I wanted to create here today. Now, that video that he has on, I'm going to put the link below, on the Commonwealth Flipper channel, is 35 minutes. I'm here actually in my dining room area, and I tell you, when you're a reseller, especially at the level that I want to be at, or even more, the downside is it consumes you, and it consumes the house. So as you can see behind me over here on my shoulder, I got like 35 cases of cat food that I got to get out, because what happened was I had gotten deodorant. I had gotten deodorant and these boxes, not knowing that, to be honest, this was all cat food. So, because I live here in Pennsylvania and it's cold right now with the weather, we actually just had like 4 or 5 inches of snow yesterday. I bring stuff in the garage and then, you know, bring it in here and sort it out. And you know, when you're putting money out for pallets, and that's one of the biggest things that I source from, is because I sell on multiple platforms. I sell on Amazon, I sell on eBay, and I've been selling more on Whatnot, and occasionally I sell once in a while on Facebook Marketplace, but it's been a while. I don't want people coming to the house and stuff like that, and sometimes to meet people for $10, it's not even worth it, and or they don't show up, or you know, people can be a real pain in the ass when it comes to those types of things. And I do sell from time to time on T, Auctions for You channel on YouTube. Actually been doing that. She's been doing that for years, but Whatnot basically has taken a lot of that, I would say, live format of auctions. So I'm sitting here doing some orders at my laptop, and my setup here is, and again, it consumes the house. It's just nice because I have the dining room counter here, and you know, I pick and pull orders and stuff because it's warm in here too. I do have a setup downstairs in the basement, but there's no heat in there down there. But it's still, because it's an insulated basement, it's relatively warm. So, all right, so I'm going to talk about Kevin's video, but in all honesty, and I'm going to pause right here because I got to listen to it. So as I'm picking orders, I got to, but I wanted to talk about it. You know, one thing Kevin does a great job of, if you don't know Kevin, everybody knows Kevin for the most part that's in the reselling community. And even I was, it's funny because I was picking up a Facebook marketplace deal the other day myself, and I drove an hour into upstate New York, and that's about how far I am from New York, where I'm at up here in the Poconos. I'm about 20 minutes north of the Poconos, so I'm like an hour north. New York State is an hour north, and New York State is about 45 minutes east, the way that we're kind of wedged up there. But we got talking, and he does reselling. He goes to the estate sales and stuff like that, and he mentioned Commonwealth Picker because, you know, I told him what I do, and it's the third time actually I picked up, and we had talked about it last time, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." And so Kevin put this video out, and I wanted to respond to it, make it like a response video to it, and just give a little feedback in my opinion. So I'm going to listen more. I'm going to do my orders here and listen to the full, well, it's 35 minutes, so I'm going to listen to the full thing to give, this way I don't make a comment or do an opinion, and it'll never be negative, just so you know, I would never make a video to I guess it's just another feedback from another reseller / YouTuber. Now, when I say that lightly, because I don't hardly make nothing on YouTube. I haven't gained the popularity of some of these people but these guys are putting out footage and video all the time, and they've stayed consistent with it. And that's the thing with anything like reselling and YouTube. You got to stay consistent. But I think my past business experience in owning multiple restaurants and being a landlord and being a reseller, that I still have a valuable input to offer. So, and you know what? We need content for the channel, and this is I think a great subject matter. So let's pause here and let me watch some, and I'll use a couple of his clips in between. Hopefully he doesn't you know, oh, it's a copyright or something like that. I'm not going to use real long because go over and watch his video. I'll put down below. But just basically, if I touch on something, I want to kind of use a clip from him that sort of ties in with what he just said. So, all right, guys, I do appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. Let's get back to it.
Had a few offers, and I just turned them down, and I waited, and somebody bought it. $100 plus shipping. All right, Joe. Had to grab this one out of the eBay cave. You gonna come in? Okay. And one of those things when we're talking about numbers is cost of goods. You know, when they show the 90-day total, what you don't see is cost of goods. Now, I had somebody post in our Trash to Cash Facebook group, and they posted what I thought was just a ridiculous number of like $100,000 90-day total. And they had like 40 solds. Like, something is just definitely not right here. Better than that. I mean, look at the buckles on this thing. This sold for $90 plus shipping, and it's been listed a little while, but not too long. A couple more pieces of context before we get into this, but let me just rehash the first part really quick. That 90-day total, you've got to subtract cost of goods, overhead, and different people's overhead is very, very different, and I'm not going to get into different YouTubers and whatever. I think, to be honest with you, I think a lot of them have undue criticism. They're very open about it. I know they're open about it because I hear it. I know it. I actually like to watch reselling content. I know there's a lot of folks out there who, you know, make reselling content and they don't watch it, which is fine. To each their own. I actually love it. When I'm in here working, that's what's on in the back.
Well, Kevin, 2 points that I want to talk about is, yes, you can't go by the 90-day total of anybody because depending upon, some people get stuff for free, depending upon where they buy it, where they live, what they're selling, what their average cost is, what they're selling the item for. And so there's a lot of factors into that. And it's nice to hear that Kevin watches other resellers. As we know, not everybody who's in reselling does YouTube. They don't have the time for it. They don't want to do it. They don't. Kevin's been a smart man. I mean, he quit his job being a teacher, and he's been selling for 20 years, from what I can remember watching his videos. And I think at the time it was his salary at being a teacher in Virginia was $40,000 to $50,000, and he saw this YouTube thing taking off, and said, you know what, I can use social media to replace my income and still do reselling. So he'd be in the same position, and actually worked out better for him because social media has taken off for him. He's grown in popularity, having the 2 channels, and Kevin is a master in marketing, and he does a lot of tie-in with his videos. He's doing a lot of things that he knows how to make money. Let's put it that way. And I know he's doubled his salary and he's spending more time with his family, and he looks like he's having a good time. And I think that comes with a mixed blessing, because he's having a good time, and there's a lot of people that enjoy his folksy side of the Virginia and what he's doing. And then obviously there's people out there that are jealous, and people that do YouTube or resellers and don't want to give him credibility because they just don't want anybody doing YouTube content and stuff like that. And good for him. I admire him. I like what I see, what he does with Dave, ADH Dave, and Carrie. Is it American Arbitrage, the guy that does the cards? They're doing their the trash podcast. So I admire that. They've done something. They've done something like over 112 episodes, and they're working together. Dave just quit his job, and he's doing it full time. So that's admirable to see 3 people in 3 different states working together, because many times is people let their egos get in the way, money gets in the way, and they don't know how to network. And Kevin's good at that. And I hate when I see, and it happens all the time, so I don't even know if he'll watch this. And he used to watch when I used to go live, he said, in the very beginning and stuff like that. But people are busy with their times. I get it. And the people that are watching, Commonwealth Picture, Dave and Harry Tornadoes and like that, they only have so much time. So those guys are getting the bulk majority of the views, for YouTube. A little guy like myself who hasn't been consistent, and I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers doing this a little over 4 years, and I've had gaps in between. I'm actually a better reseller than I am a YouTuber, I guess. And looking at my numbers, and that's where I want to talk about too. That's one of the reasons I made the video. I think I've posted my numbers over the last 4.5 years a couple times. I primarily, full disclosure, I sell on Amazon, eBay, and whatnot, and a little bit on YouTube. And Amazon, it looks like I'm down slightly this year. Just quick glance at the numbers. And eBay, I'm actually up tremendously this year. And whatnot has continued to grow. Almost gave up on whatnot. And YouTube that's just honestly side. There's not much going on there. But this year overall actually looks like I'm going to be slightly up, even with having some health issues and taking a break a little bit with some things that eBay's really exploded in for me, and I'm going to actually be up. Going back to those 90-day totals, I think people that post those 90-day totals, I think sometimes, and it's because people who are doing social media are called out as, you're not I remember one time someone saying to me on a show about me, he's not a reseller. He doesn't even, the people basically, people question their credibility. And I think for some people it's, hey, you want to talk about me, you want to say bad things, you want to say I'm not this, I don't fit your mode. let me show you. And boom. I mean, I know a lady right now, and I'm not going to call any names. She posted something like $40,000 with her 90-day total on eBay. And I said, I like, wow. And plus you sell on whatnot. And she said, yeah, it's twice as much. So for 90 days, she's at like $120,000 selling on just those two platforms. So way to go for her. I don't think it's bragging. I think she's just showing that hard work pays off. I like sometimes occasionally seeing those numbers because it shows that it's possible. It shows that even if if you are doing, let's say, $50,000 a year, there are people out there doing 200,000, and they're not selling nothing fancy. They're not selling something that is not accessible. Someone selling car parts, for example, and this is my opinion. They're selling. They have to have a lot of knowledge about it. They have to go in. They have to have access to the cars. They have to, like, I wouldn't know the first thing about taking a little part out of the dashboard. Could I learn? Of course I could. Do I want to learn everything? No. One of my favorite shows the last 10 plus years has been American Pickers. I like stuff that everybody likes. I like toy lunchboxes. I like that a lot of people like toys, collectibles that they couldn't afford as kids, or they lost and they want to replace that. Clothes is very simple to understand. Clothes, there's a glut of. I'm an all-around seller. Do I want to niche it down some as I get older and make things easier? Yes. One of the big sources that I get is pallets and stuff like that. So when I see people post their 90-day numbers, I mean, I know a guy that sells $1 million worth of video games a year. I don't really care what I mean, if you're deceiving people or you're doing something. Some people post those numbers because they want to sell their Patreon. They want to sell a program. They want to, start a class and stuff like that. You know what? That's on you and them. What do I mean by that? You're not forced to join anybody's Patreon. You're not forced to buy anybody's program. Do a little homework. And then not everybody needs to do. I know people that could do 100,000 and do very well, and people could do 50,000 and do very well. So I wanted to make this video. Again, I like Kevin, and I know Kevin. I've talked to Kevin a little bit through Messenger and text and stuff like that, and I support him, and he's great at also because he makes videos. He's great at that's being a YouTuber is creating people that something that people want to watch and listen to without just 30 seconds in and moving on. I know myself, I struggle with that. I just had a kids video where we always do toy drives, and we did our second year here on YouTube, and it's only got like 100 views, and it's the one that I'm most proud of. And it's the show, even in the light of having a difficult year on a personal level and health level, that you could still do good. And some from personal story for me is paying it forward as a kid, being a benefit of the Salvation Army and their toys and things that they did, and that's why I did it. I did the video, and trying to show it's not all about YouTube or reselling, that you take time out to do good for others, and that's why that's why I do this. It's funny because that comment that I don't watch any other resellers, but you'll see the group of guys host. Harry Tornado's done it. Kevin's been involved. There are other YouTubers and resellers that are supporting one another and watching, because they're all going to the meetups. They're networking. They're getting together, and that's great, because I think you can learn, and when this doing what we do is very lonely. Here I'm sitting in my basement now in my office, and I just got done doing some orders upstairs, and my wife's at her job, my son's at his job, and here I am getting ready for a whatnot tonight, doing eBay, doing Amazon orders, doing a YouTube order, I'm like, you know what, I like this video that Kevin made, and I want to sort of do a little what I thought about it, and that's it. So I do appreciate you guys watching. I am making more content, and thanks for the support. Let's go into 2024. If you guys you want to subscribe to the channel, I greatly appreciate it. Doesn't cost you nothing. And give me thumbs up and comment below. Comment below, and thumbs up is what helps drive the videos and YouTube recommendations. So guys, I'll see you again.